Hey everyone, we're back from break. I hope you had a good break, because I did. I got so much stuff done. It's amazing. Alright, Graham, take it away.
Engelard, where do you put your horse?
I mean, is there a specific place that they have? I guess I probably
Yeah,
wouldn't.
there's a hitching post nearby. You can put it on. Just
Yeah, that's where I put him in.
sure, definitely for visitors. Um, so
It
you
literally says
tie it up.
visitor hitching post on it. Yeah.
Hitch your horse here. No. Yeah, you can hitch your horse there. I mean, nobody's there to watch it or anything.
I
Just kind
mean,
of,
yeah.
that's fine. Tie it up. Get down. You do notice though when you get off your horse, something odd about the door here is that the ceiling or the top of the door is 7 feet high, which means if you jumped, you'd hit your head on it. Okay, just saying. And he says, "Welcome to the Govak stronghold. Doors slide open wide. Bolvor walks through, and you spy two more dwarves within, um, standing guard. The tunnel ahead of you is made of sturdy dwarven stone. It's at an angle, heading downward, deeper into the earth.
All right.
And Bolvor kind of walks through, and he kind of bids you to follow him.
All right.
You spy the edging on the ceiling and the floor of the walls are all etched with kind of bas-relief sculpture with carvings, beautiful carvings of dwarves killing basilisks, goblins, orcs, trolls, minotaurs, dragons, wyverns, other creatures you have no idea what they are.
Hmm.
You know, just anything, and it's all unique. None of it doesn't repeat. No one section looks the same as the other section. It's all very meticulously detailed and quite beautiful. However, it is quite also gray in here. The place, it is lit with torches, but it's a very soft light, all told. The torches are 20 feet apart, are set 20 feet apart, so there's a dip in visibility between them. I imagine the hallway seems particularly stifling, especially for you, one such of height.
Yeah.
But it's about 10 feet wide, the hallway, and
All right.
you continue along. You see a couple of doors walking back and forth across hallway, and then you make a left, make a right, following Bolvor as he goes. You do come across a round room, and in this round room there are 6 other doors splitting off from it at an intersection. The 6 doors are marked with symbols, and they are marked in Dwarven script. And because you speak Bezikrag, you know that they are, they appear to be family names, perhaps.
All right.
Each door, the doors are very, very exquisitely carved, and the names and symbols are marked clearly. In this intersection, it's about probably 50 feet across, circular the intersection. And it is here that many dwarves of various, beards, hair color, vocations, kind of milling about. Some are gossiping near one side, others are bustling out of one door and into another. The sounds of hammers striking anvils is heard from an open door to the left. What sounds like drums and chanting come echoing down another hallway.
Hmm.
The doors are inlaid with gold and copper. Volvor continues, though. He doesn't go through any of these doors. He continues along through the opposite hallway that you came in from and hangs a right.
All right.
And you follow him through there. And you come to, at the end of this hallway, is a door that fills the entire hallway, 7 feet high, inlaid with a lot of gold. You can tell it's gold just from your, experiences. It's very brilliant, and it, reflects light from the torch. Each half of the door has the bas-relief of 2 dwarves facing each other, and they are shaking hands where the handshake makes up the handles for the door. um, Bolvor knocks on the entrance to this, whatever door this is. The doors open up, and there are 2 armored dwarves inside with gold inlaid armor, with both wielding axes. And the door opens into an actually rather small chamber containing plush furnishings of gold-colored leather, stone coffee table, counters covered with rich cloths. A rug has been laid over the stone floor of a dark green color. There are black wall hangings around the room with gold edgework depicting dwarves of various ages. Candles are lit around the room, and there are 2 dwarves as well as 1 human inside. The human you recognize as Walter.
Alright. So of course you'd be there.
Walter, where would you put Pike?
Well, what are the
We're gonna
dwarves
say he's
do?
not at the hitching post because he wasn't there before.
Yeah, so what are the dwarves... How do the dwarves react to Pike?
They've heard your story and probably surprised, but then I imagine they trust you quite a bit.
Hmm. Well, if I could have, I would have brought him with me.
They would out of the question.
Out of the question? Alright, well... wherever they deem appropriate and suitable for an animal, because I don't want to scare any animals that they would have.
Right. They don't want you to scare any potential passerbys or visitors, so they have you take him around a hillside and, tied up to a tree or a tree stump or something.
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't really like the idea of tying Pike up.
Okay. We'll leave him there.
Yeah, but I sort of make sure that he understands that he needs to stay here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You give him a treat, like a leg of animal.
Yeah. I take out an entire sheep out of my backpack and I give it.
Yes.
No, I ask the dwarf who's escorting me if he has any sort of particular animal that he can feed him, like maybe a leg of sheep or something like that.
Yeah, and he'll actually ask you to wait there, and he'll say he'll go to the cellar, and he goes farther to the west, away from the main door, and he's gone for about 15 minutes, and he comes back with a kind of a not a side of beef, but like several cuts of beef.
Okay. And I say I mention give it to Pike, and then I just again ask him to stay here for his sake and for mine, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, I have like a telepathic, well, not so much telepathic, but more of like a. How would you describe it?
It's telepathic.
Yeah, it's telepathic connection to Pike. So he can sort of understand what I'm wanting him to do, and I can understand what he wants to do. And when we're not inside of each other, we know where each other is, and that sort of stuff. So this sort of when I say I tell him to do something, it's more like I don't say now you stay here and be a good boy. It's more like sort of like just like a
single pat on the head.
Yeah, or like some sort of gesture that he would recognize, and maybe some sort of telepathic sort of wink and a nudge or something like that. Something along the lines that we've come to understand each other, and this sort of request is not.
Mm-hmm.
No, not inside of each other. Just, just sort of like we are sort of an extension of each other, in a word. So, yeah. So it's not too much of a request for me to ask him to stay there. That's why I don't tie him up to things, and that's why I'm more likely to spend like if a town won't let him in, then I'll probably not go into the town, sort of thing. Like that's sort of how the relationship is.
Yeah. And when you leave him, he just kind of squats on the ground and just kind of sits.
Yep.
Eating his meat.
Okay. And then I'll make my way inside with the dwarf. And,
sure. So the same kind of pathway you follow. Bolvor, the same Bolvor. Someone else watches Pike for you. He finds someone else to watch Pike. That's right. And he leads you the same path that you led Engelard, and then you're there before he is. And now you both are there. In the same room. Do you say anything to each other?
Yeah, I stand up and I go, "You son of a bitch," and then I do that thing from Predator where we like slap hands and like it's just our muscles sort of bulge, Yeah. And then I say, "You've been pushing pencils too much there." Engelard.
Okay. The reference has stayed its welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like, well, it's like, you're looking a little fatter there, Engelard.
Maybe a little. Maybe it's just your memory is a little foggy.
Fair enough. Have a seat, man. And I go back and
Alright.
sit down.
Yep, you guys are sitting on a very plush couch, and it's very nice in here. The two dwarves in here. Now, Walzer, you didn't get here very much, a whole lot earlier than Engelard did.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes. And so the male dwarf in here is Lord Ragni, and you know that now. He has gilded armor, plate mail, that has the pectoral plates have been fashioned to look like one is a dwarf and the other is a dead basilisk.
So,
and
how does that? Is it so? Is it just like into the pectoral, or is it like coming out?
The pectoral plates are, they're kind of fashioned to look like that. It comes out a little bit. It's like there's depth to it.
Okay, so it's not like just like you got like an action figure sticking off of it, like nipples or something.
No,
like that.
it's flat.
Okay, all right. Well, you don't know. Dwarves are into some weird shit. I mean, but
Sure.
I sort of like give him my compliments for an impressive looking armor and all that.
When you first address him, he doesn't respond. He looks at you confused. And then the other dwarf in the room, a woman, a stocky, stalwart woman with brown hair, dressed in rich robes. She will say to you that Lord Ragnar doesn't actually speak the human tongue.
Then I turn around and I say it in Bazarak.
All right. And he'll respond to that very gruffly and very stoically, without embellishment, and he'll essentially say, "Yes, it is."
And then I repeat, "Yes, it is."
He is wearing a black cloak clipped on spiked pauldrons. His boots have forward-facing spikes made for kicking people.
Ooh.
There are metallic goblins on the table filled with dwarven ale.
Okay.
Lord Ragnar his hair is gray. He's very old. His white brow, magnificent white beard. See.
Jacob, what does your character look like now? Like, what are you wearing? Are you wearing like Sunday best, or like how are you dressed?
Well, I mean, I'm most likely wearing at least some of my leather armor. So pieces of my leather armor, mostly the I guess the chest plate, but otherwise, my clothes, I guess, would look kind of like clothes you would expect from somebody who actually has to occasionally actually go out and do work in a field, maybe.
Okay, so you didn't like dress up for the occasion or anything like that?
Well, maybe it's a little bit fancier than that, but
Yeah.
it's nothing like super fancy.
All right.
Kind of, yeah.
In heterospect, I guess. Is that the right word? Anyway, I guess I'm the least dressed for the occasion.
Yeah.
Basically, like I only have I have a bronze plate chest, but it's covered by like sort of like commoner clothes, I guess, like mostly there to protect from cold. So I very much look like someone, like I can understand why the guards thought I was not who I was because of the way that I was dressed, and I'm not all that impressive looking. If anything, kind of ragged, because I haven't gone out of my way to cut my hair or trim my beard or anything like that since I got back to
The Vale.
the Vale, yeah. And so, for the most part, I kind of look like anyone. Like I could be mistaken for a poor man, I guess you could say.
So Engelard, do you, the male dwarf kind of motions for you to have a seat.
Well, yeah, I would have sat down a while back.
The female figure, the woman, goes over to a kind of stand on the wall, near the wall, and pours shots of brown liquid into stout glasses and passes them around. And Lord Aragni immediately pushes his back.
I will immediately shot mine.
Okay.
I mean, I would drink mine a little slower than either of them.
And then I'll reach for the one that Lord Ragnar did not drink, and then I will slowly sip that one.
Walzer, I need you to make a Constitution check.
Well, I failed this one. It is only an 11 check. Oh wait, no, I passed. I'm good.
Yeah, although it tastes like gasoline, you are able to not choke or cough or gag.
Yeah.
There's gasoline in this world?
No, it tastes like what we know to be gasoline.
Gotcha.
And Engelard, why don't you go and make a check for me to just grins?
Of course. What's my constitution again?
14.
Yeah. Oh, what? 1d2? No.
All right.
Oh!
You go, and kind of it dribbles out of your mouth embarrassingly.
Does he like spit it back into his glass sort of thing? He's like
Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, at least I didn't chug it.
I sort of like laugh at him and like sort of slap him on the back a little bit and
Yep.
keep sipping.
The
the
Lord
gasoline.
Ragnar, he's kind of standing. He says, although while he's standing, he's still about as tall as Engelard is sitting down.
Oh god. Yeah.
And he says, Agurak, Boswell, Bear, Herak, Vidal, Dit, Kristen. And the robed female moves closer to him, and he says, Lord Ragnar welcomes you to his home.
I mean,
We both speak Bazarak, so
yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
He doesn't know that, or she doesn't know that Engelard does, right?
oh, okay.
Well,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'd probably say to him Mazatrak like something like thank you for the hospitality.
And okay, so he's going to be speaking in Bazagrag, but I'm going to be speaking English
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
for the sake of for not speaking in Dwarven because it hurts my face. So Lord Ragnar says to you, I believe it may be time for a military strength campaign against the goblins of the northern mountains. What say you to that? Can we count on the Vale's support as far as food and supplies are concerned?
I sort of like lean back in my chair and look at Engelard, and I'm just like raise my eyebrows and I'm like, well, I'll be. And I just sit there and wait for his response.
Oh my. I would say basically, well, currently Wyvern Falls is, we have rebuilt in Wyvern Falls, but I have a question. How has the harvest been so far?
You would probably
But
just be finished your harvest, I reckon. If
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the money that you and Boswell have put into the town and the amount of people that have showed up, pretty much back to normal capacity.
Okay, good. I had to be sure. Well, thankfully, with the rebuilding of Wyvern Falls complete, we managed to get just as much of harvest as we would have before. So, if we can get, I guess I should say, with the amount of
I assume you've not forgotten the dwarven hands I've sent to help you.
we have not. Therefore, if what you need is supplies and food and such, then we can provide it.
He kind of turns around and looks at one of the black tapestries that depicts a dwarven man on it and says, the sheer numbers of them. Says the way they procreate. No matter how much we push them back, they come back greater and stronger to resume the fight.
How many hands do you have fighting these rats?
The Gilvac stronghold here is a secondary stronghold. We owe allegiance to the Ulfic stronghold up north. As such, we are relatively small compared to your human cities. Though, of course, one dwarf is akin to 3 humans.
I sort of like cringe a little bit at that, and I'm like, Well, from what I've seen, you guys are pretty on par.
The brandy that you're drinking is of earthy taste.
I say as I go.
I'm not going to touch it again. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
What experience do you have fighting goblins?
Well, we fought a battalion of them on a hill. They included about 8 or 9 troops, a wizard riding a wyvern, and what seemed to be 2 or 3 priests among them. And all we had to do was burn them out. It was pretty simple.
Tell me about that.
Well, it was a windy day on the side of the mountain, just on top of Wyvern Falls, and I took that to my advantage and set a fire unlike any you have ever seen. The first spark was not enough to catch, but the second, oh boy, it almost burnt the entire mountain to the ground. The only one that survived was the mage on the wyvern, but a dear friend of both of ours, Alistair, managed to put a spider in his guts, and I only assume that he's been laying eggs in there ever since.
He doesn't laugh.
I smile, and I'm just like, yes, it seems that the one that got away will be dealing with a few children in the future. And then I sort of take another big slurp of brandy.
I've drawn up several strategies and tactics regarding the safekeeping of the Vale's fertile farmlands, motioning to Engelard, and forest industry. I wish that you bring them to Boswell himself to sign off on. And he kind of motions to the woman, and she kind of goes to the cabinet with the alcohol on it, opens the inside of it, and pulls out a couple of scrolls, 4 to be exact, and kind of hands them to you.
All right.
Hands them to Walzer.
To Walzer? I hand them to Engelard.
At this point, the dwarves fly open, and a young dwarven man comes into the room at a run, out of breath. He's wearing chainmail and carries a hammer in his hands. He rushes in and moves around to face Lord Ragnar directly, and he says, "My lord. He says, goblins in the cellars, hundreds of them." And Lord Ragnar kind of gets to attention, and he says, "Goblins, you say?" And he says that he kind of holds his hands out to steady the flustered dwarf, and he says, "Goblins in how many?" Sorry, I lost Lord Ragnar's voice there.
So good.
Yeah, there's some roboticness.
Is there?
No, I don't hear anything like that.
I hear it from you, Dave.
Hmm.
And I hear it from Graham.
Really?
That's weird.
What about
I
me?
think the whole call is starting. It's also hitting technically the 2-hour point. I mean, we started the call.
Oh no, we got another half an hour before we need to take a break.
Right,
so.
but I'm saying, Skype calls, as they go longer, they start to get
All right.
worse.
Well, Graham, do you want to host the call?
Yeah, I will.
All right. All right, we're just gonna start the call up again because it seems that even though we're not using webcams, Skype is gonna be a giant poo-poo face. All right, we're back. Cool. All right, hundreds of golems. Let's go.
That's what he says. Give me 1 sec. I closed my file back, and I gotta reopen it. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. I stand up and I look at the guy with the hammer. Do I recognize him at all?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, all dwarves kind of look the same to you.
How many beard braids does he have?
More than 10.
So he's not that good, not that high up the chain then. Okay. I ask the dwarf and I go, how did 100 goblins get under your guard?
I don't know. Cook sent me. He told me to tell Lord Ragnar. I don't know how they got in or where they came from.
I look at Lord Ragnar and I'm like, well, it sounds
Lord
like
Ragnar.
you,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
you saw. It sounds like you need a hand. Do you mind?
He says, Lord Ragnar says, how many did you see? Tell it true now. And he looks at him. He says, I don't know. 10 maybe 10. It could have been 100. Who knows with those catacombs down there?
I sort of chuckle to myself and I'm like, that's a bit of a different number there. I'm sure that just 2 of your guards will be enough to handle those riffraff.
And he says, sorry, I'm improvising.
That's all right.
Let's see. Oh, God.
Rule number 1, never close your documents.
It's gone forever.
Mm.
How's that cocaine, Jacob?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh God, I'm so hyper right now. I can fight all the goblins.
At that point, another dwarf comes in the room and he says, Lord Ragnar, goblins in the Norfolk cellars. And then another one kind of comes up behind him, almost knocks into the first one as he comes in, and he says, there's goblins everywhere. And Lord Ragnar kind of says, calm yourself. I don't know, all the dwarves sound the same to me now.
Yeah.
Can I send out a mental note to Pike to tell him to come here?
Okay.
Yep, I do that. Wow, 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 wow.
Signal's bad underground. Now, I gotta check the ruling on that, but
Well,
can you communicate telepathically if you're not in sight?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I think you just know.
I think I
the
just
general
know where they are.
feeling
I have to be within eyesight to like communicate with them. Yeah, you're right.
to actually communicate.
Yeah. Oh, then I turned to the first guard that came in, and I'm like, "You there?"
Says, oi!
Do you know where my wyvern is?
And he says, who? Who's that?
I turned to the lady who was hosting the meeting, and I say, "You need to send someone to go get my wyvern."
And he says, well, do you remember who? Tell her to go find Bolvor, who's not here anymore.
Was that the one who escorted me? Because you didn't actually
Yeah.
say who it was. Okay, then yes, I tell him that.
And she says, so she looks to the other dwarf, and he says, or she tells him. She says to him, says, yeah, Jim.
Jim the dwarf.
Yeah, it's a abbreviation, short name. She says, go find Bolvor. Send him to. Oh, that's a lady. I forgot. Jim, go find Bolvor and send him to get Walzer here's mount. And Lord Ragnar he reaches behind the cabinet and grabs his axe. I guess he has an axe. Grabs his axe and pulls it out, and he says, "Come with me," pointing to y'all two.
Can I also tell person going to also go to where I put my horse and grab my pack? That is they'll have my crossbow and and a sword within it.
Yeah, it'll be done.
Yes.
All right then.
So Lord Ragni is walking down the hallway, and walking down the hallway with you guys behind him, and like basically a cadre of dwarves falling behind him. He's basically, different soldiers kind of come up to him. You see women and children, or kind of a woman and a child specifically, running kind of away from the center of the stronghold, the big circular spoke.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, it seems Lord Ragnar says, it seems the goblins are getting bolder. Something will definitely have to be done about them. And he says, well, he points to basically another, lower, lesser dwarven soldier. And he says, find Bafar. You two, you guys have worked with Bafar before, right?
Correct.
He's. I turn to Engelad and like, was he the one that threw the sword?
Yes.
Yes, we have worked with Bofar before.
And he says, head to the Norfolk, head down that hallway, and he points down the Norfolk hallway, and he says, find Bafar, clear out the cellars, make sure there's no goblins down there. And then he kind of speaks to another one, and he says, find such and such, tell them to go here, I'll take care of this, go here, go there, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, does the mount show up?
Yeah, basically, when you left the main audience chamber, the dwarf left, and by the time you get to the cellar, here comes, a dwarf with a wyvern on its heels. A small wyvern, takes up a lot of the hallway.
Yep. Cool. This is exactly what I wanted to have.
basically running, trying to outrun the wyvern, it seems. And then
Perfect. I basically within a nanosecond I communicate to Pike about everything that's happened, and
sure. Meanwhile, that same dwarf throws his pack at Engelard, or throws Engelard's pack at him, hits him in the face.
All right. Ow.
Does Engelard have anything to say about a giant wyvern running down the fucking hallway, or medium-sized wyvern?
I'm gonna look at him and look back and just go, I'll ask later.
What you need to know is that his name is Pike, and that he won't eat you.
Oh. Whatever. And I'll say as I take my crossbow out and my sheath for my sword.
Yep. Okay.
Got it. You strap it on, maybe strap your crossbow to your back, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Get stuff ready, that's fine. Meanwhile, dwarves are kind of running every which way at this point. You see a woman run out of one hallway and down kind of towards the exit. Kind of an old man with a limp kind of hobbling out of one hallway and down another hallway. So what do you do? Lord Ragnar eventually storms off down the main hallway.
Yep. Well, I guess we go find Bofar.
Yeah.
Or Bofar, sorry.
Yeah, the Norfolk hallway.
Mm-hmm.
When you head down the hallway, the way the stronghold's kind of set up is that each hallway kind of leads to a kind of sub-stronghold, a town, a neighborhood almost in and of itself with different, obviously there's no separate buildings, but there's a lot of doors that lead to different businesses and different homes and sort of thing. It's kind of a network of hallways that work like a city, or kind of like a neighborhood. At that point, Bafar is kind of there in the center, kind of directing traffic, it seems, kind of waiting for backup. Because he's got
a whistle?
Yeah.
Some white gloves?
Whistle, yep, there you go.
Just moving both his hands.
Bafar, your battalion's not here right now. Ooh.
They're off busting ghosts. Ooh.
They're off busting ghosts.
Ghostbusters.
Alright, at the moment I see Bofar, I'm like, hey, shorty!
You're like, you son of a bitch.
Nah.
We do the whole thing again.
Yeah. It basically, if it was a cartoon from the 80s, it would be like, the cut and paste of like the black arm and the white arm like fucking doing it, but fucking Bofar doesn't have a black arm, so it'd just be like this They just cut and paste the exact same scene, just in that spot there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just save on the animation
Yep,
budget.
that's it.
Yep. Right. Bafar, you see Engelard and Walzer, as well as a small wyvern, following them.
Oh, that asshole! I think to myself, and
And they say anything akin to what to do or etc.
well, wait, what do they say? Sorry, I missed that.
I don't know, what did they say?
Basically, we tell him what Lord Ragnar has told us to do.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Shit, I really wanted. I mean, he doesn't have the swear word "shit" in his vocabulary. But good. Yeah, that's my cellar that they're in. Let's get to it. Let's do it. There's no time.
So we're glorified pest control now. Mm.
Something like that. I'm sending some secret, some layout information to Spencer in secret.
Ooh, very nice.
I know a secret passageway. I say, with an exclamation point.
Yeah,
I turn back. I sort of like lean my head back to Pike and it's like, will this one fit?
I don't know.
He fits, yeah, but you won't be able to mount him.
That's fine. I wasn't planning on mounting him. He's a good fighter on his own. So
He might be able to squeeze through. I say, I've never had to fit one before.
oh, there seems to be a joke in there somewhere. And I'll leave that to your imagination. Let's go kill us some vermin.
Spencer, I assume you don't mind if I take some of the narration
Certainly.
that explains what you do.
Yes. Well, in this particular sense, I don't even know where I'm going, but you know where I'm going. I might as well.
Sure. So, yeah, you guys follow Bafar. Bafar makes his way. He knows where he's going. He turns left. He turns right. He makes his way down basically a hallway. He says, grab a torch. We're going to need him.
Can Pike see in the dark?
No.
No? Okay.
Some damn torches.
Then I will. Is there a way that I can fix a torch on like the saddle or something like that?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. All right then.
Maybe with some rope use, but
No, I'm not going to bother about that. I'll just if one of you guys are going to carry it, then I'll keep my Lucerne out and follow.
okay, follow. That's fine. So you go down descending the stairs, and you stand basically in a 30 by 40 foot rectangular stone room.
Okay.
You see no further doors, but instead 4 bronze slabs that have been fixed into the walls, with what appear to be dwarves sculpted into them. And Bafar, knowing what to do, makes his way over to one of the dwarven bronze slabs, and he says, here we go. And he says, Lord Durgan, nope. Lord Gargrin, nope. Here we go. Lord Burin, HRR 196. And then he basically pushes the bronze slab, and with nary a scrape, it doesn't make any noise. And at that point, you see a hallway before you, though its length is indeterminate because it's very dark down here. And at this point, you guys can now Bafar. You haven't really been down here very much, so you're kind of at a exploring as they are.
Torch in one hand, sword in the other.
Shield.
Shield in the other hand.
On my back, but
All 3 hands.
well, it depends. What kind of shield is the kind of shield that my shield hand could hold the torch because it's affixed to my forearm?
Do you want it to be that kind of shield?
I mean, I'm not versed in things or shield use.
Unfortunately, because it's a medium shield, it's too heavy for that.
Okay, then I will be on my back and torch in my hand,
Okay.
and I will go first with torch and sword.
You guys know, because all of you speak Dwarven, that Burin, which is the Lord Burin, who's the slab that he opened, the kind of grave that he opened. Burin is a Dwarven word that's like a tool used in stonemasonry. and so it wasn't a real lord. It's kind of it's a
Great uncle made up.
yeah, it's a made up person that's a secret doorway to the cellars.
course.
I ask Balfar, and it's like, isn't that a little obvious?
Eh.
It probably wasn't his idea.
Wait, you think I had any? You think I decided this?
Well, I mean, you guys lived for a long time. I wasn't particularly sure.
Nah, man, this is. He doesn't say nah, man.
Nah, man.
No, man.
Nah, you time, Chucky. No, this is. How old is it?
Almost 200 years, over 200 years.
This is over 200 years old, and I'm barely pushing 141. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're just a young spry buck. I say as I roll my eyes a little bit and walk in.
Yeah.
So I guess the marching order would go Boffa, me, Engelard,
Yep.
then Pike, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Hold on, guys. We should probably take another break because I have to have a conversation elsewhere.
Yeah, we can take an early break. We're a few minutes off. So yeah, we're gonna take a few minutes break here, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, guys.